Day 3 notes in Unit 4. It's called Compositions of Isometries. Also, you could think of this as really just a glide reflection. So, isometry is a transformation that preserves distance or length. So we know that translations, reflections, and rotations are isometries. All of these preserve distance and length. We're just either rotating or reflecting it or sliding it or gliding it around. We're not actually changing the size of that shape or point or figure. So for a glide reflection, this is a specific kind. It is the composition of a translation, which is your glide, and a reflection, which is your flip, across the line parallel to the direction of translation. Alright, so let me just show you. So first, your rule right here looks kind of scary, but it's not. So even though it says reflection first and then translation, you always do the translation first. Whatever is in the second spot is what's done first. So you are going to translate, and then you will reflect. Okay. Now, first thing I would do is I'd go through and I'd figure out my points for T, E, X. So for T, I have negative 5, 2, E, negative 1, 3, and X, negative 2, 1. And since I already know that, I'm going to go ahead and graph that on the graph over here. Because that graph I'm going to end up translating and then I'm going to reflect. So, over here, go ahead and graph TEX. Make sure you label. Okay. Now, translate, you're going to go 0, negative 5. So, let me move this. Oh. Okay. So X, that means that we're not going to move left or right at all, but we are going to move everything down 5. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, and then it says that you have to reflect over x equals 0. That's also basically just your y-axis. Okay, and how do you know that? Well, if you go to the x-axis and put a point at 0, if it has x equals, it means you're always going to draw a line going up and down through the x. So, basically, we're just reflecting over the y-axis. Think of it as a fancy equation for the y-axis. Alright, so now, this new image, I reflect it over. So I look, okay, E is only 1 unit away. So there's my E. Double prime. Then, oops, sorry, not a double prime, just a prime. Alright, X, we've got 2. So 1, 2. And then for T, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units away. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so anyway, this is our new image. And this was our pre-image. Okay, so for the last one, letter B, same idea. One, we need to translate first. And then two, we need to reflect. Okay, and then also we need to know these points, and this is the same image as the one up there. So we're just going to take these 3 points that we already figured out, this is the same, and graph them over here. And make sure that you label. Alright, so I have TEX, and now we need to translate. So it says 7 and -1. So X, we're going to go -7 over, and then the Y, we're going to go down 1. So for every point over 7, down 1. So I went over 7, but I forgot to go down 1. Okay, then to reflect, we have to reflect over y -2. So y-axis at -2. So we reflect, we've got to go 2. So 4. 3. Alright, so we now have our new image. And remember that our pre-image was our original, which is here. Okay, so the big idea or the big takeaway is make sure that you translate before you reflect. It is called a glide reflection to help you remember, like glide first, reflect second. Translate first, reflect second. And that's all for the notes.